me grab this real quick. And go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Cole. I'm a 2-year Envirothon member. This is Joey. He is a 1-year Envirothon member. That's Trent. He is a 1-year Envirothon member. That's Emily. She's also 1 year. And then Catherine at the end is a 2-year Envirothon member. That's alternate Benj. He is a 1 year. And we are Team Hiker Biker Recyclers from Caro High School. Benj.
Okay. Well, on the first screen you could tell our project was called the Tire Terrace. Now, what we realized that the community, Caro, was plagued with a tiresome problem. Now, traveling on the local roads, peering through backyards and the forests, we realized that there's an abundance of tires. And, you know, many might not think that's bad, but they're sitting there rotting and causing various insects and other animals to actually live in them and spread other various diseases. Now on the next slide, this is where the idea was sprouted. An ex-alternate of our group, Lucretia Hudson, she suggested that we take these tires and we actually create a garden, a community garden. Now this garden, it consists of the tires, which is good. Now the Hudson Farms, Lucretia Hudson's own farms. They donated 6 tires to us to start with this project. Now you can go to the next slide, please. So, the tire pollution problem. If the tires are sitting there and people possibly burn them, they release toxins, very harmful toxins, such as carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide, and various other volatile oxides. They also crowd landfills, and they attract pests. Some of the pests could be mosquitoes living in there because of the water buildup and the dankness of the tires. And other pests could include mice and other various rat species.
All right, so what's the actual environmental impact of our project? There's 2 main things, like improving the soil quality and air quality. So just like with all the plants, they're going through carbon fixation and nitrogen fixation. So they're building up more nitrogen into the soil and incorporating all of these materials from the air and putting them back into soil for more plants. And eventually when they decompose, they're going to make the soil overall more rich, along with putting more oxygen into the air as they're still alive. And also with the biodiversity. So when people go by this, they're going to see the idea of how we're incorporating these things that are usually thought of as garbage into a project that actually has positive environmental impact, so they might be inspired to do something similar to that. And it might also attract more people to our library because that's the location we choose to do. Oh yeah, and we had 3 primary sponsors, which were the Caro Community Library, the Vassar Building Center, and Hudson Farms, which is where we got the tires.
Okay, so taking action. As you can see, that picture right there is a picture from when we did our project. We got pretty dirty. Next slide, please. So to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. We believe that this quote really embodies the mission statement that we had going into this project, because we think that this garden can positively impact the future of our town. Next slide. So why did we choose a garden? A garden will allow us to make a direct change in our community. We actually get to go out and do something that can make a real change. We can also promote general awareness to the public through visibility. People are going to walk by on the sidewalk. It's pretty close to the sidewalk. And a lot of people go through there, so hopefully they can see it and kind of notice that we did something and say, hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can do something like that. It also creates a really good opportunity for us to collaborate with some of our local groups, like Vassar Building Center. We got some materials from them. Hudson Farms donated their tires, and we partnered with the library for the spot for the garden. So we had a little bit of trouble finding the location for our garden. We originally had a spot along our school that used to have a garden in it, but it was removed due to construction. We had some construction going on last summer, I think, for our auditorium that we just had installed. So we presented the idea to our school board of putting it back, but they decided that they didn't want it there. So we kind of had that, it was a problem. So yeah, but then we got really lucky because the community kind of came back and reached out to us. We got the library, we got in touch with the library, and they said that we have this plot of land that is recently undeveloped. They tore a tree out and they wanted something there. So they're like, you can have this. And it was really great and it's incredible that they gave us the opportunity. So we also had a problem with getting money for seeds and flowers for our garden. We originally were going to have a sponsorship from the garden club, but in the midst of all the planning, the garden club decided that they couldn't really send the donation due to scheduling problems. So we were in a bit of a rut there, but then we also had Catherine come through, and she donated a lot of seeds and transplantable flowers from her own garden. So we got all of our plants and seeds through her, and it was really lucky as well. Thank you, Kat.
All right, it's go time. Next slide. All right, so this is the plot of land that we had before we started. You can see that there's some like saplings started to like come up, and there's like a couple weeds. And this was on the south side of the library, so you could actually see it from the road, which is a real benefit to us. And this is the after picture. You can see we had 6 tires, so we put 2 on the outside, and then we had like a group of 3, and then we put another tire on top to make like a tire terrace. And we put some like new red mulch because some of the brown mulch looked like it was like starting to like decompose into the soil, so we decided to put some more red mulch on there. All right, as you can see, this is like towards like the end of our project. Laying down some mulch, benches like watering. We have almost like all our plants planted in this picture. And then these 2 pictures is like where we're putting in the soil. We actually had topsoil and a compost and manure soil, so we decided that we'd have like a kind of like a 3 to 4 ratio of like topsoil to compost soil. So that's like us like mixing in like the 2 different types of soils. And then just again, like here, we're trying to like plot out like where we should put our tires, so like the people from the sidewalk and the road can see our whole garden. And then this is Trent, Cole, and Benj digging out some of the mulch because we wanted to set our tires in the ground so it looked a little more natural and a little more pleasing to the people. So there was about like a 3-inch layer of like mulch, so we dug that out, put the tires in, and then like put like the rest of the mulch like around the tires so it looked a little better.
All right, so here's like the actual building materials we needed. It was kind of simple. So we got the donation from Hudson Farms of the 6 tires. The Vassar Building Center got the bags of mulch and the fertilizer bags from them. And Catherine got the soil. So that was cool. Kind of a simplistic list of materials. So like it was good to actually like fulfill the goal. All right, so plants. I was like really happy with the diversity and like the different colors of the plants we had. So like we got like golden, the marigolds, Shasta daisies, which are like the bright white. A wildflower mix will be like a bunch of different colors. We don't know, but yeah, we got a like pretty nice assortment.
All right, the afternoon. So I feel like we're gonna get a lot of feedback for this because since we worked with the library, as you can see, they have like a board and they can put stuff on it. So we're gonna talk to them and we're gonna ask if they can like help promote the Envirothon team and like hey, come check out the garden. It's pretty cool. And then our town, we have like a forum they send out to like all the students, parents, and families. And it's called Education in Our Town. So they're going to put an article about us in that, so everybody's going to get to read that and hopefully come check it out. And then the Caro High School Facebook page is even going to make a post about it and put pictures in and like, hey, come down to the library, go see what your community and school have been doing. And then the results, the library has a new garden, looks pretty good. It's right on the main road that everybody goes down, so even when we were building it, like people would slow down and they're like, hey, what's she doing? We had some people come up and ask us like, oh, that's cool. And then, yeah, receptive citizens, people just walk up, they can look at it, they can ask questions about it. And then hopefully more awareness about tire pollution because we have a lot of car places in town and there's just tires like stacked up. So hopefully like, word gets around like, hey, maybe they can do something with these tires. And so instead of having these just stacks of tires, they can put them to good use. So yeah, that's the tire terrace. Thank you.
We've got That was perfect timing. You have like 5 seconds left.
Oh.
Perfect timing. Right on the dot. You guys have 5 minutes for questions.
When you were selecting your plant material, how did you go about that?
Oh, so we just kind of looked at the different areas in which the plants grew, right? And so we wanted it to be very colorful. You asked about like the material to plant it physically in, right? So we got like odorless manure, right?
Yeah.
Which corresponded to like the necessary nutrients that the plant needed. So like it was a match, and we just kind of went about it like that.
And also, since the building's on the south side, they don't get as much sunlight, so we had plants that needed like half shade, half sun.
And another question, you mentioned that you were using plants that gave nitrogen to the soil. That was one of the comments. And I wondered, which plants were you using that put nitrogen in the soil?
I'm pretty sure the forget-me-nots. Because like there's like a simulation of the microorganisms in the soil, right? That like take it in and store it into ammonium in the soil, I believe. I'm not completely sure on that though.
Next. In your outreach that you'll be doing, are you including information on, you did a great job on explaining what the issues are with the massive amount of tires that we're producing, and so are you including that information in your promos and including information on how someone should properly dispose of their tires instead of just throwing them out back?
Well, I think that that would be the most effective way to go at it, because I feel like, coming from like a citizen standpoint, if you don't like display the problem at hand, then people will kind of throw it off and like throw it in the back, kind of like the tires that they're like that they're not informed about, right? So I feel like in like the promotional stuff, we should definitely include the tire pollution and like even like other ways to like make sure that like the tires are properly disposed
Or recycled.
or recycled.
I hate to ask this, but why did the school not want it?
We honestly do not know. They just did not seem to like the idea.
It was like a couple days before we were gonna do the project, and they emailed us, and they're like, we're not gonna support this project.
Yeah.
They just weren't interested at the time.
So there could be like various reasons. I mean, maybe the communication wasn't up to their standard. I mean, there was like a week in between one of the emails. I was the one emailing, and I just kind of forgot to check my email, but like.
But it could also be just that they didn't want to have to put more upkeep on the ground.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
partly
and
lawn
weren't
care.
there plants there? Like
There was
some like
there was
but
a
nothing
couple,
like
like,
nothing
some grass.
nothing as good as our tire ground.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna take care of it this summer?
That was my question.
We're probably going to water the plants.
Yeah.
I'll go up there once or twice a week and check on it, make sure that it's doing fine, water it.
Our alternate lives like down the road from the library.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I live down the road from the library, so we'll be able to like upkeep on it.
Did you put the Shasta daisies in one of the tires so that they're not going to escape?
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
We did.
yeah.
Which one was it?
It was.
It was in the back.
Yeah,
The back.
yeah.
And what about seed dispersal of the forget-me-nots and daisies?
The forgive-me-nots wing in the very top tire, I believe.
Yeah, definitely not in the top tire.
But they will disperse quite readily. So, did you do any research into what might become invasive versus not when you chose your plants? Okay, so I would like you to go and visit a site, which I can give you later. Actually, AJ could probably give you when you leave, called Nissen, which has a list of many, many, many invasive plants that you can take a look and see if any of the ones you planted might be on that list. And some other sorts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be great to consider. The other question I had is, we're talking about who's going to take care of this over the summer, but you've got tires here, so did you do anything to the tires so that in the event someone doesn't maintain it quite the way it should be, those tires don't just end up accumulating water and losing the soil and that sort of thing? Did you do anything for preparation there?
Well, I mean, I guess if the garden gets to the point where like the flowers aren't growing back, we'll just have to get rid of, like, dispose of the tires properly so that they're not like blighting the environment, you know? But, yeah, just like,
We don't have to relocate it.
You use the tires intact though, correct?
Yes, they're all intact.
Okay.
And I wondered if you considered that the black of the tires was going to make it warmer for the plants that were near to the tire. So when you selected your plants for the tire sites, was that taken into consideration? Temperature?
so, the plants also grew like more south too, so they might be like a little more like, have a larger endurance for warmer temperatures. So, because it was kind of like most of the Midwestern region, including Michigan, where most of them grew. So I think that they would be okay with temperature, like a little fluctuation, with the sunlight intake.
Yeah, it's in a perfect shape.
It is because it's on the south side.
Right.
I like your enthusiasm. I like the humor you spread through your presentation. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. I like the fact that you guys are newbies.
Yeah,
Great job.
pretty much.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job.
And good luck, it's got a competition
Oh,
ahead.
absolutely.
You go get them.
Yeah.
Sign me
Out
up.
of your program?
Here. No, let me sign now. They don't need to see my.
No.
Is there any-
No,
You guys did great.
Best I've seen all that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
Absolutely excellent. It's spot on, few words, good graphic, high marks.
Ooh. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can take Melissa off there too if you want.
Yeah. Take Nathan off.
Nathan off, yeah.
There, those you can keep.
Okay, I think you're out.
All right, yeah.
I'm just gonna leave this up so the next person has it.
Thank you very much.
It's a picture of.
Good job, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Here is, that's the basic teaching staff. These guys are sure
Okay,
help
thank
with
you.
that too.
Yeah, thanks.
They did great. Good job.
We got you now.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
I'm just gonna leave that there.
Sure.
Do you guys have some, score sheets?
They call it PowerPoint presentation.
It was nicely done.
That's the best one.
I do.
Time.
Right on the line.
Right on the time.
So,
Sweet.
how
There
far
you are.
Oh, good.
Yep. Fabulous. Good stuff.
I was waiting for that girl to come on board.
Yeah, how about you?
I was sweating bullets when she got to say
How's it
something.
feeling?
Great, it was
so
so
fun.
fun,
Yeah,
they were refreshing.
Yeah,
They were enjoying it.
Yeah, cool.
but it made me laugh.
Where you
that I was so,
at?
is she gonna see something?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Did they, the team measure or will measure results, did they get into that? Not really, did they?
What was the question?
Team measured or will measure the results? Okay.
By the way, to the best of my knowledge, Sandra Blossom does not fix nitrogen.
No, I didn't think so.
I wanted to see if he would, how they would answer the
And
question.
he didn't just it, he winged it, he worked at it, right?
tried.
Which I thought
It was great.
But I didn't like the BSing it.
was, really?
Yes.